Hi, everyone. Welcome to the podcast. If you're a new listener, welcome. If you're a veteran, welcome back. Today, we're going to talk about, Hans is going to talk about not the difference. So, he's just going to basically discuss the aggression.
Different kind of aggression.
Different kind of aggression. So, one is animal aggression, dog against animal, or dog against human aggression. So, what's the difference?
Well, we had a video on podcast on aggression on animals and how to stop it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we did that. Yeah.
Right. So today I want to talk about aggression against humans. Right.
Mm-hmm.
And so I just quickly get out of the way the animal aggression because people can look up the video and just watch that.
Yeah.
How to stop animal aggression and that we have a podcast on that already. Okay. So the aggression against animals is almost always based on prey drive. Dog wanna chase a chicken, cat, goose, donkey, horse, cows, goats, right?
Yeah.
Right. Now very rarely a dog is defending us against a Cape water buffalo or a grizzly bear, right? Okay, that would be defense.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's prey because when the dog sees another animal, like an animal of prey, then the prey instinct kicks in.
Yeah.
Now, then you have animal aggression, like within the same species for breeding rights. Two males or two females.
Right.
And stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
So you have those, and then you have a human aggression, which is mainly based. The one I want to talk about. Let's say if little children are running, and dog grabs them by the butt or by the leg when they're running by. That's prey also.
Mm-hmm.
But I mainly want to talk about defense-driven aggression. Okay, on human.
Mm-hmm.
I keep reading on Facebook and all that. These people are flabbergasted when their dog becomes overly aggressive. I just read an article of a woman who got a Bouvier, and the dog, she's doing sport with it, and she's dismayed that the dog is, when you get, want to bite the person actually, and not the sleeve.
Yeah.
And so that's the type of stuff I want to talk about. Okay.
Yeah.
And the reason is genetically based. Bouviers were used to be excellent protection dogs, and unfortunately, that ability or instinct or drive or whatever you want to call it is getting diminished by selective breeding because people for some odd reason don't like that, and so there's less and less of them. But now and then, the genetics pop up still, right? Mm-hmm. Like there was a case about, 80 years ago, 70 years ago in England. There were two white people and they gave birth to black child, right? And the husband divorced the woman because he thought she
had an affair.
Have an affair.
Uh-huh.
And then it came up, they did genetic testing and they found out that his great ancestor, grandparent was actually black. So it was the blackness actually came from him. So what I'm saying by that is, that certain genes sometimes pop up, even so they're not prevalent. Or like, we have that Moltke theory, right?
Enlighten me.
You don't remember?
Well, we probably.
Okay, Moltke was a German general.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Right.
Yep.
Who developed theory? They were brothers, and one of the brothers, Moltke, came up with theories that the most aggressive nations die out, the aggressors die out in their military escapades, and then the less aggressive and weak members survive, and then the nation falls down. Right? Because the weaker animal ground, like Vikings, right? Sweden is now the most soft-spoken country probably in the world. But the Vikings, they were marauders who went through Europe and everywhere and killed and pillaged and raped and everything. But they got killed off themselves too.
Yeah.
Right? And so who was left were these softies who stayed behind.
Uh-huh.
And so the Swedes are now, very soft, kind of gentle nation.
Okay.
But now and then, and we know who I'm talking about.
Puff of
Yeah.
genetic.
It pops up still, the genetics kick in, just like, with that black child of those people in England. And so same thing happens with the dogs. Okay, so you can breed the aggression out of the dogs, like let's say the Bouvier, but now and then the gene pops up, right? Like another example, a great example actually. You go look up on Google picture de Gaulle, the
Charles de Gaulle,
and president of France, right? And during Napoleonic Wars, the soldiers, the elite soldiers, they were 2 meters tall, which is 6 feet on average. Okay, and so they were all drafted, and they went to Russia, and most of them died, froze dead, whatever. And almost no tall people like that survived. But now and then the gene kicks in, and if you look at Charles de Gaulle walking through the crowd of people, he was like
a giant.
He was like a giant compared. You see, that's a gene which kicked in on his side. Okay, I can't wait for somebody to accuse me of racism or something, but whatever. Okay, but that's the truth, so there's no point to be nasty about it. So this Bouvier was really aggressive, and it didn't fit into the sports club where they try to breed all these dogs just to be prey-driven, and natural protectiveness is bred out. Well, they're trying hard. They tried with German Shepherds, and Bouviers are much further down the line, not to be naturally protective than German Shepherds, okay, because it's been done for a longer time. And so this girl, she had this Bouvier, and she joined Schützen Club, and they out, and the dog bites the helper in a leg or whatever, and she didn't know what to do with it, okay, or bites her. Crazy dog. Yeah, crazy dog, get rid of it, and that's how you get rid of these wonderful dogs who still have natural protectiveness, right? That's why my beef with the sport is. Yeah. So how, let's say we have a dog like that. So how do we get rid of it? Okay, or how do we control it, or better yet, how do we train it so it works to our benefit?
Yeah, I think that's the correct.
Right, because question. I want the dog to be protective when it needs to be protective, and I want the dog not to be protective when I don't want it to be protective.
Yeah.
And who decided if the dog should be protective?
Not the dog.
Well, in general terms, it's a leader.
Well, yeah, I mean,
right?
Whoever's the leader at that point
decides, about protection, right? Yeah. So you have dogs are pack-oriented animals, and they have to have a leader. They aren't like cats who can have a parallel existence with humans because they're solitary animals.
Yeah.
So the dogs are pack-oriented animals, even so some people disagree. I don't want to get into that morass. But they're pack-oriented animals, and the dog has to have a leader or he will turn into one. There's just no any other possibility. So now you have this badass dog, Bouvier, and he's trained with obedience in sport, in drive. Obedience in drive doesn't help you to establish leadership position over your dog, okay? So now if you didn't, the out of drive is, I'm selling the videos of out of drive obedience, which helps you to establish leadership position over the dog.
Yeah.
But the sport people are using in-drive obedience.
As the main.
Well, that's what they use, 100%,
Yeah.
right? And because the in-drive obedience, the dog work for itself, for the treats or toys, and the handler or trainer is not establishing leadership position, the dog decides, I'm in leadership position, right? So now they are on the decoy, and they make the dog to out somehow, but the dog says, who the hell are you telling me if I should out or not? And he keep attacking the decoy, or helper in sport, they call it helper.
Yeah.
Decoy is for civil protection. Yeah. So the problem with that is that you do sport with this type of dog, and they are not equipped to handle that type of a dog. So they say it's a bad dog, and they either put it down or sell it or stop breeding it. They may sell it to police, or something which needs dogs like that. But there's less and less of these wonderful dogs who have natural protectiveness, and they don't know what to do with it. And what to do with it is it starts with a little puppy, right? So we gotta first make puppy to be first lover and then killer, so to speak.
We did an episode on that too.
Right. But, the dog, that Bouvier, which is biting the people, is in leadership position, so he's deciding, on its own, who should get bit or not, right? And that may be against the handler's wishes, but because they train the dog in drive, the dog, they did not establish leadership position with the dog as they would establish with the out of drive obedience, where the out of drive obedience is obedience where you're establishing leadership position, communication of positive and negative, so that the dog listens to you in first command in a situation. So you can, and then also, in my scheme of obedience and protection training, we're teaching the dog on command to be friendly, right? So it's a complex issue. I always read on Facebook, people have these, bumper sticker solutions to complex problems. And it's not really a complex problem. People just need to understand what's going on, and then suddenly not complex anymore. Yeah. So first you gotta make the dog warm and fuzzy ball, right? And then only then, so the default, the basic default is being friendly.
That's the baseline of
it. Right, it's friendly. Yeah. Right, and then you can teach him, okay, world is warm and fuzzy ball, but now and then there's a bastard who needs killing.
Which is the title of your new book. Just kidding, I'm just joking. Which would be a funny title. I mean, it'll be a good title.
That would probably sell really well. Anyway, so as you see, if you have a sport dog, I mean, if you want to do sport, and you don't want the decoy to get messed up by your dog after you tell him out, you need to start the dog first in out of drive obedience, the way my video shows, okay, which people can buy. Yeah. And
no nonsense obedience.
No nonsense obedience.
If you guys are happening to Google it, or look at on the website of.
Yeah, it's in Alpine Canine Reel, and you go to instructional videos for sale or whatever, obedience.
Well, the videos are for sale,
Yeah, and there is and there you will establish a leadership position. So now when you're in leadership position, dog is less prone to protect you on his own. Now, when you do protection, he says, well, I want a dog protect me. I said, well, dog will protect you when you allow him to assume leadership position for the time being, while the command is in action. As I always say, you are like the general who is normally in charge, and you tell the platoon, which would be your dog, to go fight, and now the platoon can fight on its own best possible way they can, and then they get a call from general, and he tells them, okay, fighting done. Yeah. And you stop. So during that period where they fight, they are in charge of the situation of the the combat they're in, right? And that's a dog, right? But you are in. So when you train dog, you are the leader. You relinquish your leadership position temporarily to the dog. He go kicks ass, and then you call him off, right? And the reason for that is that which I didn't say. I said it elsewhere, but I didn't say it here. Is that the dog which is underling doesn't have the instinct to protect its leader. So if the dog on hierarchy level, you have a top dog and then you have the dog below, they will not necessarily protect the leader. The leader needs to protect his underlings. That's their instinct. That's why they're leaders. But the leader can relinquish his leadership position in training of protection and tell the dog, you do this, okay? And so the dog who is overly aggressive, okay, towards people, let's say you don't do sport, right? This is let's get it. That's sport. Let's get it out of our way, all right? And then we can talk about you walking through the park and people want to pet the dog and they get bit by your dog. First of all, when people ask if they can pet your dog, the answer is always no.
Yeah, especially if the dog.
Right, well, any dog, because you never know, what's going on in the dog's head and they get bit and you have a lawsuit, okay, these days.
Yeah.
And so, but in any case, people still will go and try to pet your dog and they may get bit. Right, so you need to teach your dog during the protection, during the obedient teaching them, you are in leadership position, you don't bite anybody unless I allow you to. And number two, during the protection, we do the diffusing of the dog, right? So the dog on command is protecting you on command, and also it's friendly on command, which is really important. Okay, so you can, if somebody want to pet the dog, you tell your dog it's okay, and dog will accept the person. That's type of training, and people can see it on my shorts. Yeah, where we go with the dog after the protection session in front of the people who are sitting on their chairs, and the handler tells the dog, it's okay, and then the person pets it. It's okay, and the person pets it. And the person who pets it, one of the people there, is also the decoy who was just getting bit. Okay, so the dog can be on-command friendly and unfriendly, and that depends. And we can command the dog to be one or the other based on us being in leadership position. So it all boils down again to the obedience, which needs to be out of drive, where we are establishing leadership position.
Because when you were used to go around homes for behavior modification, you said almost pretty much the number one issue was
just about 100% of all behavioral modification is stemming out of drive obedience. Like I know, I've said it probably somewhere else, but when my dog Sarko, he passed away, but he kept licking his toe, which he broke a toenail, and he kept licking it. And it was pretty bad, actually, worse than, because you can see all the way to the bone. And so the doctor fixed it up, and he put the Elizabethan collar, the lampshade on him, and I said to the doctor, why are you putting that on him? He says, well, so he wouldn't lick his toe, right? And I said, I just tell him, don't, right? And they look at me like I have two heads, right? Shut up, Hans. Keep that thing on its neck. Well, when I got home, I took it off. I want to keep the vet happy, but a great vet, by the way. But I took the Elizabethan collar off his head And he immediately went and started licking his toe. And I said, Sarko, no, don't lick it. And he went try. I said, no, right? And he never licked it again, man. He would lick the concrete floor right next to it, but he wouldn't lick his toe. It was so precious.
Because you already established
I established leadership position.
Yep.
I could communicate to him things what I want him to do and not to do. You know, where today's state of affair of fixing behavior problems, the trainers come up with some kind of a trick. Why not to do that? They redirect the attention. You know, if I want to lick the toe, I throw him a ball, and dog is gonna play with his ball and stop licking his toe.
It's still about the ball, though.
yeah, right. What about, you know, and it's you know, and then you know, the lick. So he stops licking his toe because he want to play ball. But then he chases cats, so they come up with another trick and another trick and another trick and another trick and another trick up forever, and people keep paying $1,000 per trick. You know how to get it fixed. Where you can just establish leadership position and tell the damn dog, no, don't do it.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was that guy with the melon wall. You kind of missed it a little bit. You talked about that. You don't realize that he had an e-collar.
Oh.
Kind of goes back a little bit. I'm not.
Yeah. That guy was. He had a dog who was attacking the handler, so they put muzzle on him, and some, you know, and he kind of grabbed the dog.
Well, he said he had some kind of secret.
Yeah, he had some kind of a secret method.
Yeah.
You know how to stop him, and I
So
kind of
you were
look
curious,
at it,
like,
and I say, "Yeah, the dog stopped attacking him. What is he doing?"
Yeah.
So I contacted him. He says, "Well, this is not a standard training like a dog trainers do. I have my little ways to do it, whatever. And if you expect me to tell you how it is done as normal dog trainers do, that's I don't have an answer for you." And then I noticed, well, every time the dog tried to bite him, he zapped him with an electric shock collar, man. The dog did like this, you know. I missed it completely. And I was, you know, I said, maybe I can learn something from this guy. This is good. That dog stopped attacking him.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. You know, so, yeah, if you zap me, I'll stop attacking you too. That's what cops do with the stun guns. Yeah. But the point is, what about if the e-collar is not on? Yeah. Or sometimes dogs are willing to take the pain of the e-collar and still bite you.
Yeah.
You know,
so you want to diffuse, that's where this whole diffusion of the mind.
Right, so you want the dog.
Yeah.
You want the dog to respond to what I'm saying. And, you know, if I say it's okay, don't be aggressive. You know, and I have I call it vectors, right? Both vectors, my brain thinking is aligned with the dog's way of thinking.
Yeah.
Right? If we go against, like, you know, you better do what I say or I'll zap you with e-collar, the vectors are going against each other.
Yeah.
You know, and anyway, so that's basically all about. I said everything. You know, let me recap it. So we need to establish leadership position over the dog through out of drive obedience, and then we just communicate to the dog what we want them to do and not to do. And because we're in a leadership position, the dog will respond to us. Yeah. Okay? That's it. That's it right there. Yeah. And you can buy the obedience, you know, from me.
The no-nonsense obedience, it's called.
Yeah, or out of drive. We put it in parentheses in front.
Which is super important.
Right.
I think that's another term I told Hans. You know, from a student perspective, if I was learning, I said I wouldn't know what that word means. You know, so it's kind of interesting how, it makes total sense. It's just. Well,
you can tell if the dog is in drive. Yeah. By, you know, most dog trainers train dogs in drive because it looks good.
In drive, out of drive.
You know, dog is prancing and looking at the help, at the trainer, and you know, and really what he's doing, he wants a cookie. Okay.
Yeah. I think that's it. Actually, it's not the word out of drive. It's the actually understanding of the, not philosophy, but what it is.
What's behind the out of drive training? Yeah.
I mean, the two word out of drive, but it's more that. That's what that's what all this training
Right,
stuff
and
is.
that leads to modification or fixing of, I believe, of all behavior problems.
Yeah.
Right. So if you're fixing behavior problem, as I said, you can just use tricks, like redirection of attention.
Yeah.
Dog wanna bark at the dog over there, so you throw him a ball. So every time he sees a dog, you throw him a ball. So next time when the dog, you do it 100 times.
Yeah.
And the next time when the dog sees another dog, your dog sees another dog, he start looking for you playing ball with him.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a valid way to do it, but it works only when the dog sees a dog. What about if he sees a cat or chicken?
Yeah.
So you got go through all of these things? No.
Just say no.
I just say no. I just go, and dog knows what no means. I'm in leadership position. He looks at the dog, and I know what's on his mind.
Yeah.
I'm going to fight that dog.
Yeah.
And you say no, and he stops. Same thing with the person. Person is coming at us, and it's Myrna with apple pie, and dog is all perked up. I call it, the dog gives her hard look.
Yeah.
Hard look, dog perks up, and make one more step, I'll rip you up. I say no.
Yeah.
Myrna is friend, right?
Yeah.
And so I say no. And the dog stops because I said no. So he's listening to me.
Yeah.
And this type of training is just, that's how it used to always be done.
Yeah.
But
it makes sense.
Yeah, but it's not done anymore. Everybody thinks you gotta be somehow done with cookies and toys.
Yeah.
And some kind of no, it doesn't.
Yeah.
Okay, it's just have a relationship with the dog.
Yeah. This past Saturday we were doing somebody that's not me was holding the dog, and I was supposed to call the dog separation anxiety thing we're practicing.
On command separation.
Yeah, on command. And my female went a little bit towards the people, and I said, "Phooey, no," and then she redirected. Well, the same no works with the rabbit for the most part, not always with her, because she's got some issues. If I'm near her, she will also no means no. You don't go chase the rabbit.
Right.
So it works.
Yeah, but your influence over the dog diminishes with the square. Squares of the
that means she's.
If you enjoyed this content so far, please subscribe to our channel. Also, Hans has a podcast channel called Dog Training for Life. Check that out so you can listen to the audio version.
10, 15, 20 feet, pretty good. And then she's further than...
Yeah, when she's way the heck out there and you say no, your influence over the dog is diminished.
Yeah, so that's another...
but that's another podcast, yeah.
We can go on.
But we talked about that.
We did
before.
Yeah. Everything is, as Hans says, it's a conglomerate of things, and it has to work fairly well together.
Right.
I mean, it has to work together.
Right.
You have to know how to put it together, I should say.
Yeah, or Swiss watch. You may have all the parts which are perfect, but you got to put them together so they show you time.
Yeah, that's what Hans is. He's a watchmaker, Swiss watchmaker.
That's it. Yeah,
that's right.
I'm making Rolexes.
They got to work. All right, guys. Thank you for listening. Please subscribe and share. Also, please visit Alpine Canine Real, like realistic.com, for all the instructional videos. Also, if you're looking for a puppy or a trained adult dog, Hans is your man. These dogs come in from the Czech Republic. They're not here in the U.S. When I say here in the U.S., you can be listening somewhere else, but this Hans is in the U.S. and they get flown in from the Czech Republic.
Well, we train dogs here too.
Yeah. And also, you can mention the Alpine Canine certification.
Yeah, we're starting to make sure the dog is targeting the man instead of the equipment. And if they do that, there's specific tests which the dog has to pass. And if they pass the tests, we will say the dog is Alpine Canine certified.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I just selling a female. I just sold one, and with that certification.
Okay, great.
Yeah, that one which this girl called me.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, it's a. You guys can see the short. Go to the shorts. Actually, that's probably the one of the best ones. Watch the shorts, and you will see when the dog lets go of the sleeve.
Yeah, watch the shorts with the guy handler who has a red shirt.
Yeah, it should be one of the top ones. At least
and
right now.
There's like a AI, somebody commenting like this on that.
Yeah,
it's not me, but
that was not the red shirt. Sorry, guys. No, that was Dave's dog.
Oh, it was Dave dog.
No, it was not the red shirt, but the red shirt is good too.
Yeah.
But the AI voice is the one also. But you'll see what that is. And again, you can contact Hans. The contact info is below if you have questions about the certification.
We're slowly building up this program.
Yeah.
It takes a little time, but people are on board, and I will also certify other people's dogs.
Yeah.
Who can actually do that.
And they can email Hans on that. Contact Hans. The contact info is there. What that means if you want your dog to be certified by Hans remotely. I guess that's what he means. So again, thank you for listening, everyone, and we will see you next time.
Hey, ahoy!